Keokuk County Expo 2024 Stars, Stripes, and Summer Nights is the place to be in July. Things start off with a bang on Monday, July 15th with Rogue Rodeo at 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, July 18th is the Keokuk County Expo Queen Contest and the Bill Riley Talent Search. On Friday, Tyler Richardson and the High Bank Boys will be in concert starting at 7:30 p.m. And then on Saturday, it's the Figure 8 races at the Keokuk County Expo. Bring the family, have a great time, and enjoy the fair at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney. The Union Mills Community Closet presents Christmas in July fundraiser dinner, July 27th, starting at 5 p.m. at Bradbury Hall, Nelson Pioneer Farm, Oskaloosa. Serving a catered dinner of chicken cordon bleu or savory sliced beef. Call 641-200-1940 or look for Union Mills Community Closet on Facebook to purchase your tickets. Tickets are $30 or $240 to reserve an entire table. All proceeds directly benefit Union Mills Community Christmas Toy Drive. It's the Christmas in July fundraiser dinner, July 27th at Bradbury Hall, Nelson Pioneer Farm. The Delta Fireman's Ball is Saturday, July 27th. You can enjoy food, live music, games, and more. There will be a poker run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Keith Davis will be playing music from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information on the Delta Fireman's Ball, contact Jim or Fake Harry at 319-212-8772. The Delta Fireman's Ball is coming up Saturday, July 27th. Don't miss it. Saturday, July 20th, the Southern Iowa Fair welcomes Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry, along with special guest Dylan Carmichael and area favorites, The Boys. Tickets in advance are $40. Get your tickets at sifonlinestore.com. For more information, stop by the fair office at 615 North I Street in Oskaloosa or call 641-673-7004. It's Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry headlining the Southern Iowa Fair concert on Saturday, July 20th. Doors open at 6:30. Start time is at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $45 the day of the show.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thousands listening locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to shuffle!
Hello! Greetings! Welcome in! Time for the morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media on this Friday, July 19th. It is gonna be a beautiful day. Hey, we do thank you for tuning in and watching. We are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. Give them a call, 641-673-4845. You can schedule your appointment with Dr. Dan Schuster. They're accepting new patients. Oski Dental going to file your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta Dental provider located at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa, the Oski Dental Studios. Our forecast, as I mentioned, it is beautiful. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney, and you can stop in, see Cindy. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturdays, 9 to noon. Today, tomorrow, Sunday, this entire weekend is beautiful. Get out and enjoy it. Sunshine today, a high of 79, and pretty calm winds. Just, wow, that's a picture-perfect July day today. Tonight, boy, I tell you what, for the county fairs, obviously the expo in Sigourney and the Southern Iowa Fair in Oskaloosa going on. They couldn't have asked for a better week this week. We got the Tyler Richton concert tonight at the Expo in Sigourney. Partly cloudy skies expected, a low of 59. So grab your lawn chair, head out to the Expo for some fantastic music coming up tonight with Tyler Richton and the High Bank Boys. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 78, so basically just like today. Tomorrow night, if you're heading out to the Southern Iowa Fair in Oskaloosa for the Eddie Montgomery concert with Dylan Carmichael and the boys from right here in Southeast Iowa, again, another perfect evening for some country music at the fair. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, a low of 63. I mean, usually on these concert days at the fairs, you're looking at like 90 degrees and sunshine and just pretty hot conditions, but not so much this year. For Sunday, we'll wrap up the weekend partly sunny and 78. So, I mean, it's just rinse and repeat for this entire weekend. But we're not rinsing anything. There's no rain, but it will be dry, highs in the upper 70s, and then lows into the upper 50s to low 60s throughout the weekend. Wow, that is fantastic weather. Let's take a look at our current conditions from the National Weather Service. We do have humidity at 93%. Winds are under 5 miles per hour. The barometer at 30.21 and 56 degrees right now in Southeast Iowa. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate. Earlier this morning, we put up our This or That. It's brought to us by Stacy Flynn, Legacy Insurance Group, and Welcome Realty. And which one are you going to choose? Weekends or holidays? I guess, you know what the perfect combination would be? Would be if the holiday were to be on a Friday. And then you could have an extended weekend. Or maybe a Thursday, and then you take Friday off, and then you get like 4 days off. That's the perfect scenario right there. So anyway, which one are you going to choose? Weekends or holidays, this or that? That goes up at 6 a.m. every weekday morning, brought to us by Stacy Flynn. Let's see here. Question of the day goes up at noon every weekday, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa at 202 North Main, Sigourney. If you could be a contestant on any game show, what show would it be? I mean, you got the classics, of course. You got the current stuff. What are you going to go with? You know, immediately I think like Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right, those types of game shows. Those are the classics for me. Family Feud. Would you do something like that? So yeah, that should get some interesting responses. What game show would you be on if you could be on a game show? Your question of the day. Hey, going on, we've got our For the Fun of It tournament. It's brought to us by Son-in-Law Services. Josh Clubb, Handyman, 319-431-1806. And you can get your votes in. This particular matchup started at 6 p.m. last evening and goes through 6 p.m. this evening. Battle of Wapello County. Got the Wapello County Fair against the Wapello County Expo. The fair versus the Expo. A thumbs up for the fair, a heart for the Expo. Again, we're talking about Wapello County. We just had the Keokuk County battle between the fair and the Expo, and the Expo came out on top there, so they move into the, do they move into the Final Four? Let's bring up, yeah, they do. The Expo into the Final Four. Let's take a look at your brackets overall. We got the Keokuk County Expo on the upper left there. They'll be facing the winner of Southern Iowa Fair and Washington County Fair, which will be going live on Sunday evening through Monday evening. And then over there on the right-hand side right now, Wapello County battle going on. Next week we'll have Jefferson County Fair against the Marion County Fair. So should he have a great Final Four for the For the Fun of It tournament, featuring Southeast Iowa County Fairs in this month of July, sponsored by Son-in-Law Services. What do we got up next? Do want to put the spotlight on our team and athlete of the week. Our athlete of the week, as voted on by you, our viewers and engagers on Steve Shetler Media Facebook. Our poll wrapped up yesterday. And the Keokuk County Hospital and Clinic's Athlete of the Week for this week is, once again, from HLVTC. I tell you what, that HLVTC school combination has been racking up the wins on our Athlete and Team of the Week here lately. HLVTC softball's Haley Jack named our Athlete of the Week. She had 507 votes, which catapults her right into our Athlete of the Year tournament. She jumps into the top 16, which is now set. I have not made that graphic, that image up quite yet. We'll probably release that next week and let the hype begin for that. But our top 16 is set because this is our last Athlete of the Week for this school year. We'll, of course, start it up again after the first week after high school football starts in the fall. But, basically, we're just getting down to a couple of teams. Maybe just Sigourney softball and baseball right now is all I can think of at the top of my head. As far as the teams that we have in our Athlete and Team of the Week. So this is our final Athlete of the Week for this 2023-24 school year. Haley Jack, again, vaults into that top 16. We'll release the top 16 and the first-round matchups probably next week. So congratulations to Haley. Congratulations to our Kelly Styles State Farm Team of the Week for this week, Sigourney Baseball. Now, you could say this is their second week in a row winning this. It was a three-way tie last week. Sigourney Baseball was involved in that, but they get it all to themselves this week. So, and they deserve it. Sigourney Baseball going to the state tournament for the first time ever in school history. So congratulations to Sigourney Baseball. The Team of the Week, Kelly Styles State Farm, are a sponsor for that. So, of course, we wish Sigourney Baseball and softball the very best of luck coming up next week at their respective state tournaments. And they will be having a send-off on Sunday. Be on the lookout for that information. We'll put that up on our community calendar events coming up at 8:30 this morning on Facebook. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do some community calendar events. Let me find what I want to find here. My stuff that you can't see on the screen. Of course, we mentioned the Tyler Richton concert tonight at the Expo. We've got the Eddie Montgomery concert at the Southern Iowa Fair in Oskaloosa coming up tomorrow night. Let's see here. We'll shine the spotlight on the Conway Twitty tribute concert at the Watchier Opera House coming up next weekend. That'll be at 7 p.m. Put that on your calendars and get in on that. As of course, we've been advertising at the beginning of the videos, Delta's Fireman's Ball coming up next weekend as well. And then also next week, the revival at the Lancaster Christian Church just south of Sigourney will be taking place. So a bunch of stuff. It's summertime. It's July. Tons of things always going on here in our area. And that's some look at some of our events in the community calendar. Let's do some birthdays. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right, birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Nikki Leathers, the broker, owner, realtor, hometown-re.com. On the hometown side, we got a bunch of weekend birthdays this weekend. That includes Ken Alsop from Oski News. Ken having a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Ken. We've got Sheila Davis with a birthday today. Roger Berg has a birthday today, as does Amy Boss. And then birthdays for tomorrow, we've got Aaron Heenaw, Kirk McGill, Rebecca Lear, and Greg Yoder. So happy birthday to all of you fine folks. Hometown birthdays on that right-hand side. Celebrity birthdays for today. On the left-hand side, got Brian May, the curly-haired guitarist from Queen, 76 years old. That guy is like super smart, too. Anthony Edwards, the actor, you know him from ER from way back when. Also, was he Goose in Top Gun way back when with Tom Cruise? So Anthony Edwards. We've got basketball player Teresa Edwards turning 60. And then Benedict Cumberbatch. Probably the most interesting name for somebody in Hollywood. Of course, he's an actor, 47, Doctor Strange, tons of other things, 47 years old for Benedict Cumberbatch. Those are your celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Let's see here. Before we go any further, we do want to congratulate Mason Clarahan from Sigourney. She was the Keokuk County Expo Queen, crowned the winner last night. And here's a quick interview I did with her. Hey, Steve here at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney on this beautiful Thursday night. The Queen contest just wrapping up, and we've got our Keokuk County Expo Fair Queen for 2024, Mason Clarahan. Mason, congratulations. I'm sure you're pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm absolutely excited. It's such a privilege and honor to be able to earn this title.
And, of course, you'll be going on to the State Fair coming up in August. Do you know much about what happens up there? I'm sure you're going to be a very busy girl.
Absolutely. The State Fair is an extremely busy time, and the Queen Contest goes on during the FFA shows. And I know that all the queens really get a bond and stuff, so I'm super excited for that.
All right, well, we're excited for you, and wish you the best of luck at the State Fair.
Thank you.
All right, so Mason Clarahan, the Keokuk County Expo Queen, crowned last night at the Expo in Sigourney. Also, yesterday afternoon, I had the opportunity to talk with Holly from KCED in Sigourney, talking about this weekend's car show. Hey, Steve, hanging out here at the KCED office in downtown Sigourney. With me is Holly. And Holly, you got a big weekend coming up. Tell us all about the car show.
Yeah, so it's our annual car show on Saturday at 10 a.m. We're doing photos for cars in front of the Lewis Memorial Fountain at 7:30 until 9 for $5. And then we've got lots of trophies and door prizes throughout the day. Most of our restaurants have specials. So you have to come out and check out all of our cars.
And it sounds like the weather is going to be absolutely perfect.
It will be. I'm super excited.
And as far as pre-registration, do you have a lot of cars signed up for it?
We have a few. Most like to wait until day of so they can check the weather and make sure they want to bring their car out. We do have some. So pre-registration goes until tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's $10. Day of is $15.
Okay, so check it out. Again, that is the Sigourney Car Show. We'll get a close-up of the flyer there. The Sigourney Car Show is Saturday from 10 to 3 on the square here in Sigourney. Holly, we appreciate your time, and have fun at the car show.
Thank you.
All right, again, that car show tomorrow. Registration, don't get confused by the wording of the video. The video was recorded on Thursday. So registration goes through this afternoon. Make sure you get your car registered for that. If you're a car enthusiast, it should be a great day tomorrow afternoon on the square in Sigourney. Hey, we are doing the morning wake up. We are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. And a good morning to you. Let's take a look and see who's in the comments this morning. Bubby, as always, number one on the good mornings. Good morning to you. Dodie, Sandy, Cindy, Dan, Nancy, Tamra, Kay, and Jackie. Thank you all for tuning in. I know there's more of you out there that are sitting by quietly. And Dodie saying that the Poweshiek County Fair also going on. So make sure you take advantage of all of the county fairs going on in our area. All right, on this date in history, again, it is Friday, July 19th. On this date in history, a few things. Samuel Colt, the inventor of the Colt 45 handgun, was born on this date back in 1814. It was on this date in 1881, Sitting Bull surrendered to U.S. authorities. It was on this date in 1935, the very first parking meters in America were installed in Oklahoma City, 1935 for the parking meters. And then it was on this date in 1952, there were a series of UFO sightings reported above the White House. I'm not sure that the aliens have left the White House. You gotta wonder. 1952 UFO sightings. Today, on the National Day calendar. It's National Daiquiri Day. It's National Stick Out Your Tongue Day. Blah. It's National Words with Friends Day. I've never played that. It's National Raspberry Cake Day. I don't think I've ever had raspberry cake. In fact, I've never even heard of it. Sounds kind of good, though. And then it's New Friends Day. So make a new friend today. You know what we didn't do in my little stuff below? I didn't put in some hype for today. I was just thinking of making some new friends. Might be able to do that at Barnwired in Sigourney. We've got our Iowa Music Showcase today from 11:30 to noon with Doc Johnson. He is the guy second from the left over there. Doc Johnson from Doc Johnson and American Made going to be hanging out today at Barnwired in Sigourney, playing some original tunes, doing a live interview. We have got a live audience if you want to be part of it. Just show up at Barnwired on the south side of the square in Sigourney. Doc Johnson, 11:30 to noon. Or, of course, you can watch here on Steve Shetler Media. Tomorrow morning, same situation. We will be live, broadcasting live from Brothers Market in Sigourney. Sports section. Mitch Eslick is your host. And we'll be talking to the Iowa Sting, some of the folks from the softball team, Iowa Sting. Bree Schaff is going to be the coach, and I believe we'll have some of the players. We'll get to know the Iowa Sting coming up tomorrow. And then, of course, on Tuesdays, we have the Tuesday night tune-up, TNT. It's Dynamite every Tuesday night from Smoky Row in Oskaloosa at 7 p.m., talking local racing. So there we go. I got my plugs in for my different live shows on location. Let's take a quick break. Let's hear from Tassel Ridge Winery, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Edelweiss wine from Tassel Ridge Winery is a great wine to pair with Iowa sweet corn. It's a fruity, semi-sweet white wine that offers orange, pear, and pineapple hints on both the nose and palate. It's great served chilled and paired with Iowa sweet corn and the foods that usually accompany sweet corn. All of the grapes for this wine are grown at the winery. Tassel Ridge Edelweiss is available at many local retailers. Look for the tall blue bottle with an image of a wine glass on the label. If you don't see Tassel Ridge Edelweiss at your favorite retailer, ask the manager to get it for you. Tassel Ridge Winery is located in Lighton on Highway 163 between Pella and Oskaloosa and is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from noon to 6. Check our website out at tasselridge.com.
And again, a big thanks to Tassel Ridge Winery for being one of our many sponsors here on Steve Shetler Media. We are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios for the Morning Wake Up here on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. It's time for some things you need to know. Whoa! Things you need to know. Ew. A portable suicide pod. What is that? Is going to be used for the very first time in Switzerland. Why would they allow this? Potentially within months, providing death without medical supervision. What? The space-age looking Sarco capsule, first unveiled in 2019, replaces the oxygen inside it with nitrogen, causing death by hypoxia. And it would cost just $20 to use. Man, that's I don't like that at all. Sad news yesterday. The legendary comedian Bob Newhart died yesterday at the age of 94. Bob Newhart, again, a legend in comedy, in acting. Of course, my family always thinks of Bob Newhart from Elf. He had many other things in his career, but Bob Newhart, dead. Lou Dobbs, the veteran cable news host who made his name on CNN and then on Fox Business, passing away also at the age of 78. So don't these things usually, like celebrity deaths, usually happen in threes. I don't know who the third one was yesterday, but Bob Newhart, Lou Dobbs. This one might count. The jumper, I didn't hear about this till right now. The jumper who leaped to his death from a luxury hotel in Midtown this week is believed to be J. Michael Klein. If that name doesn't ring a bell, he is the wealthy co-founder of the movie ticket firm Fandango, jumping to his death from a luxury hotel. Wow. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game, of course, everybody is talking about the horrible drunk version of the national anthem from Ingrid Andress from the All-Star activities from Major League Baseball. There was a game, though, and actually people who watched the game, the number of people was up 6% this year compared to last year's record low numbers. So bouncing back just a little bit as far as audience. Bud Light is not bouncing back. Of course, they went woke, and they're not going broke, but they have definitely lost a lot of money. Bud Light, formerly the top-selling beer in the United States, has had a tough year since the boycott upended the industry, and it's just getting worse. The brand has now fallen into third place. Modelo remains at number 1 as the top-selling beer, while Michelob Ultra, who's actually made by the same people as Bud Light, Michelob Ultra has gone into the number 2 spot. So Bud Light dropping down to number 3. How about this, about the woke broke scenario? John Deere says that it will no longer sponsor social or cultural awareness events due to the backlash it has received from its customers. So John Deere pulling out of the social cultural stuff. Let's go to Hollywood. Viggo Mortensen, best known for his role in the original Lord of the Rings movies. Viggo is ticked at Amazon, calling them appalling and shameful after they decided not to release the Ron Howard movie that he starred in called 13 Lives in theaters. Instead, they are just putting it on the streaming service. So Viggo Mortensen not the least bit happy about that. Let's go to NBC political commentator Chuck Todd. He is comparing President Biden's campaign hopes, oh boy, to The Sixth Sense, where the main character doesn't realize he's already dead. Whew. Speaking of politics, I stayed up late last night. I stayed up way too late watching the Republican National Convention. Donald Trump doing his speech. Hulk Hogan, brother, doing one of the intro speeches, ripping off his shirt. Dana White from UFC doing the actual introduction for Donald Trump. So an eventful night. Donald Trump going, I think, for a record-long speech at the RNC, over an hour and a half. So, and then immediately, I was watching on CBS last night. Immediately afterwards, the CBS commentators just started ripping apart Donald Trump. It's like, would they have done that to Biden? I don't know. Interesting. But we know it's a social media world that we live in. I know that, in particular, from events last year. There are now reports of school employees, a restaurant worker, a fire chief, and a political aide all losing their jobs or resigning after comments that they made online about the attempted Trump assassination. So people losing their jobs because of what they had to say about the Trump assassination attempt. Most likely they were saying stupid things like, the shooter, something about the shooter missing. So yeah, they lost their jobs. Home Depot dropping their Halloween collection online this week, because we're like, August, September, we're like 3 months away from Halloween. Home Depot Halloween collection out there online. From music, Adele has 10 concerts coming up next month in Germany. And then she says she's going to be taking a, quote, extended break from music. So Adele going to go on a little vacation. If you like Stranger Things, the final season of Stranger Things, supposed to be coming out here sometime. They'll probably just do a surprise release on Netflix. The Duffer Brothers, who are the brains behind Stranger Things, are already working on their next project, a horror series called Something Very Bad is Going to Happen. Should be interesting. And then finally, today, no, actually, we got two more things. Survivor Season 47 debuts coming up September 18th, if you're a fan of Survivor. Among this season's batch of castaways is former Saturday Night Live funny man, John Lovett. What a weird combination that is, John Lovett and Survivor. And then finally, on things you need to know, they held an auction this week. Someone bought a nearly complete Stegosaurus skeleton. That's a dinosaur skeleton that was discovered in Colorado 2 years ago for $44 million. Somebody bought their own Stegosaurus. Interesting. Let's do this. Today's Impossible Question. Today's impossible question, according to a recent survey says, what percentage of women admit to re-wearing dirty clothes once a week? We posed a question like this recently on our question of the day about, how often do you wash your clothes, basically, or how often do you re-wear your clothes? According to a recent survey, what percentage of women admit to re-wearing dirty clothes once a week? Think about that. Good morning to you, Eloise. Good morning to you, Sherry, Kate. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this morning on a beautiful Friday. What's going to be a beautiful weekend. Again, according to a recent survey, what percentage of women admit to re-wearing dirty clothes once a week? 85% is the number there. 85% wear their clothes more than once, which is all right. I wear my clothes more than once, too. Shall we get weird? Let's get weird.
That is weird.
In some weird, 14 high school students in Tokyo, hello, Tokyo, were rushed to a hospital after eating super spicy potato chips on Tuesday, according to police. Around 30 students ate the crisps after one of them brought them to school. Soon, some of them started complaining of nausea and acute pain around their mouth, prompting emergency calls to the fire department and police. Come on. From chips? The 13 girls and one boy were taken to hospital, were conscious, and reportedly had minor symptoms. Well, yeah. Well, would you go unconscious from eating potato chips? Give me a break. Man up. Go to the hospital for eating spicy potato chips. I'd be embarrassed to be their parent. How about this from Canada? The Canadian Cancer Society said many transgender men and non-binary people disapprove of using words such as cervix. The CCS, the Canadian Cancer Society, said in a memo obtained by True North on Wednesday, it was sorry. They're apologizing for using the word cervix. Give me a break. As transgender men and non-binary people, quote, may prefer other words such as front hole. Let's see here. But let's just move on. Butter. We like our butter here in Iowa. Butter made from air instead of cows. A California-based startup claims to have worked out a complex process that eliminates the need for cows while making its dairy-free alternative taste just as good. I haven't ever tasted it, and I never will, but I'm just telling you right now, it does not taste as good as the real thing. Let's see here. Savor, the company Savor, backed by Bill Gates from Microsoft, has been experimenting with creating dairy-free alternatives to ice cream, cheese, and milk by utilizing a thermochemical process that allows it to build fat molecules, creating chains of carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and oxygen. They're making fake fake butter, and they're trying to say it tastes as good as the real thing. There's no way. There's no way. Let's go to Hawaii. Why do people keep driving down a boat ramp into the waters in Hawaii, a small boat harbor? It's kind of a mystery. On Saturday at 8 p.m., a 33-year-old woman parked her car on the boat ramp facing the water when she told authorities her car wasn't working, and then she drove directly into the harbor. Did she not see the water in front of her? This incident comes nearly a year and a half after two visitors drove into the harbor while following GPS to get to a tour operator for a nighttime dive. So people are just not using their eyeballs, not using their brains, because they're driving into the water. I mean, it sounds like that episode from The Office where GPS takes Michael and Dwight into the lake, but okay. Finally, in some weird today, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi wanted her late mother to spend eternity in one of her favorite places. The View host is well-known. She's a well-known fan of Disney. And during an interview on Late Night with Seth Meyers last week, she revealed that her mother, Emma Harris, who died back in 2010, also loved spending time at Disney parks. So much so that Whoopi said she scattered some of her mom's ashes on the It's a Small World attraction at Disneyland. So if you go to Disney and you go to It's a Small World, just know that some of Whoopi's mom is floating around in the water. Let's do some files of law and disorder. In some disorder, a Florida woman is facing a lawsuit and a notice of code violation after she filled a storm drain with concrete. Causing a major flooding problem in her neighborhood. Her name is Diane Goglis, or Goglis. She sent her neighbors a letter back in March saying a drain pipe was installed on her property without her permission. She reportedly told neighbors, quote, "I advise you of this because once I close that pipe off, you will have a drain problem that will back up on the road and on your property." She says, quote, "I filled in the 2 manholes and that broken pipe because I didn't want any more erosion on my property." So yeah, then everybody's water drapped up, flood. They had flooding issues because this woman put concrete in the hole. That's interesting. And shall we just skip right ahead to the duh today? Let's do some duh.
Duh.
In some duh, let's go back to Canada. Our friends to the north. An Alberta man who tried to sell a brick of cocaine to a police officer in the parking lot of a British Columbia RCMP detachment will serve a 26-month prison term after his appeal of the sentence was rejected. A Mountie, I am the Mountie. A Mountie had been conducting surveillance for an unrelated drug investigation in the parking lot of a shopping mall when Kevin Scott parked in his vehicle several stalls away, gave him the old nod to the undercover officer. The officer drove away, but Scott followed in his own vehicle, eventually arriving at the parking lot of the local authorities. When the officer rolled down his window to ask the man why he had followed him to the police parking lot, Scott tossed a tote bag into the police car through the open window, trying to make a drug deal. How stupid do you have to be?
Duh.
Yeah. Why does he only get 26 months? That guy needs a smack upside the head. That is your morning wake up here on Steve Shuttler Media. Let's take one last look at our weather forecast. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate. Sunshine today. Would you just look at it? Just look at it. Sunshine today, a high of 79. And that's your forecast for the whole weekend. Just very pleasant July forecast. Hey, we do broadcast live from the Oski Dental Studios. Give them a call. Set up an appointment at 641-673-4845. It's a Friday, so we kind of slow things down a little bit heading into the weekend on Fridays. We will have In Remembrance Of coming up at 8 a.m. We'll have, of course, the Iowa Music Showcase. Doc Johnson at Barnwired in Sigourney today from 11:30 to noon. Coming up later on, we'll have Successful Farming at 5:30. And tomorrow morning, the sports section from Brothers Market. We'll have some other stuff on the Facebook side of things, so make sure you tune in and you get involved here on Steve Shetler Media. Otherwise, enjoy the weather this weekend. Be safe. Get out to a county fair and enjoy and support everything locally. Otherwise, we'll see you back here on Monday at 7 a.m. for the morning wake-up live from the Oski Dental Studios.